ribbit. I want to talk about frogs. Whereas serpents represent transformation within, and ravens represent persistence of continuity, memory, and identity. Beyond death, beyond change, the frog represents emergence. It's not transformation itself, but it is the outcome of metamorphosis. It is movement from one world into another. The frog undergoes what appears to be a magical transformation. It embodies the transition between worlds. It is the first initiate, representative of rain, fertility, spring, birth. The frog symbolizes the return of life to the world. Frogs are weird creatures. They're liminal, in between fish and beast. They come from a different realm, but they do not belong just to that realm. It is both of the water and of the land. The water is unknown. It represents chaos, the unconscious world, substance without form. The frog is a symbol of one who leaves this unshaped world into the world of forms. It is the child who leaves the womb, the first out of the cave. Frogs are often ugly. And this is important, because while eagles are majestic, lions are majestic, the frog is strange. Bulging eyes, slimy skin, awkward movements. Yet it is ubiquitous in mythology. Why is this? Because reality does not emerge in perfect forms. New life is awkward, as are new ideas, new identities. The frog symbolizes the discomfort of this transitionary state. It is the in-between. Early humans had no concept of evolutionary biology or of embryology, but they could see the world around them and interpret things as they were. Even though they did not know that the first tetrapods to walk on land were amphibians, the form of this creature resonates with the idea of movement into a new world. These people were much closer to the world, to the animal world, and people often saw things that we're unaccustomed to. Miscarriages, for example, are not commonplace to see, but they are very common. And for people of the ancient world, it must have been very strange for them to see almost a tadpole or frog-like creature coming out of a woman instead of a healthy baby. There's something about the awkwardness of the frog that resonates with people. Like us, it's one of the few animals without fur, without claws, without protection. Even though, just like every other animal, it seems to be comfortable in its existence. Unlike the bear, which is of the forest, the eagle of the sky, the ram of the mountains, the frog doesn't really have a place. It's in between worlds. And this resonates deeply with humanity. We see ourselves in frogs, not just because of the liminality of them, but also because of their absurdity. In modern times, even, we see the totem of a frog in humorous situations, in meme culture. This isn't by accident. The frog is an absurd animal. It sits upon the log and could be mistaken almost for a tiny, naked human. Whereas the snake sees physical categories, the raven metaphysical ones, the frog does not fit into a category. It laughs at categorization. We are animals that live in contradictions. We are individuals, yet we are social. We are aware of our mortality, yet we are mortal. We are beings of incredible consciousness, yet we are just animals. We are physical, yet we live between symbols. We are creatures between worlds, and that is why the frog resonates so much with us. We are always in between categories. The frog is the perfect totem to encapsulate this condition. The frog is representative of the fact that we exist in this absurd condition, yet we are capable of greatness. Think of the myth of the frog that becomes a prince. It is something low, something absurd. The frog is about emergence, but it is more than that. It is a cosmic joke. It's meta-humor. It is as if nature itself is looking at humanity and saying all the categories, all the concepts and notions that you come up with are fluid and not existent. That anything you can do is a joke. A frog is funny. People weren't quite sure what it was. They just knew that it was a frog. Hopped around, ate flies, and hundreds of them would appear at once. A tadpole emerges from an egg, swims around with its tail, then absorbs it and hops onto land awkwardly. It's almost comical, yet it is completely real, and it creates a symbolic tension. Reality is far stranger than the stories we tell about it. The frog is a reminder not to take things too seriously. Not to take yourself too seriously. Is it a fish? Is it a beast? Or is it both? Does it matter? The frog breaks the rules just by being. Interestingly, we often see the frogs in wooden carvings in places of connection. It is not usually the base or the top, but is in between, providing a bridge between one totem to another. We often see frogs coming out of people's mouths, as if anything we say has an absurd frog-like quality to it. Croak. Many of these totems involve awareness of self, awareness of one's surroundings. The frog is about the awkwardness of that understanding. It is the witness to absurdity, to your own absurdity, to all of this.
One of the oldest surviving comedies that we have is the play The Frogs by Aristophanes. The famous chorus goes, "Brekek kek keks quox quox," essentially the sound of frogs croaking. At first, it seems like pure comedy, but the play is actually saying something very serious about the decline of Athens, about the state of culture, and who can guide civilization through crisis. Right at the center of one of the most important surviving works of ancient comedy, there is a ridiculous chorus of frogs croaking nonsense. The frogs are a reminder that beneath human civilization lies nature. The politicians, philosophers, and poets argue. The frogs just keep croaking. Human beings think they are discussing the fate of civilization. Frogs are unconcerned. There's something deeply comic about that. Comedy itself is liminal. A joke works because it violates a category. It unexpectedly transforms one thing into another. The frog is already a category-violating creature. Therefore, it becomes a natural mascot for comedy. I would be remiss if I did not mention Exodus, one of the greatest meta-comedies ever written. The Egyptian goddess of fertility, Heket, is an anthropomorphic frog. When God tells Moses to bring forth a plague of frogs onto the land, the Egyptian magicians counter this by reenacting the plague and manifesting frogs of their own. The great joke here being they countered a plague of frogs by producing more frogs. And I think there's something to be said about that. You can't go against nature. We're all just here going along with the ride. And we might talk a big game, but we're just like frogs, croaking.